that kind of money can save a lot of problems. Solve a lot of problems in my life.
For real.
Before they came to go the tarmac. Now, people are not able to fly there.
How much is it to fly from Accra here?
So, and that's one of the biggest problems of Africa. What the population request of you is not achievable. So, let's do it and let's make this happen. From Accra to Kumasi, how much will it be like?
Accra to Kumasi. By flight?
Yeah.
1,200, 1,500.
People were arguing that. So the chief, the paramount chief that we showed, is the owner of Awa,
Yeah. Africa World Airline.
an airline. Is that rich? So he tried to fly here. So they came up with the rate. The rate was like 250 cedis. People said it was expensive, so they should reduce it to 100 cedis. So I sat back and I watched it. And like, what's the business sense? The man is a businessman.
He was
Forget the fact that he's a paramount chief. He's not a politician. How is he going to be able to bring a plane down here and those cities per passenger? And you know the way the airlines work? When you move a plane, so for those kind of small airlines, the fault is not too much. Maybe a flight is like 5,000 cities. So if you are taking 100 cities, you need 50 people on board to fly. You understand? And when they did the 200 cities, maybe 12 people.
even 200.
They are complaining that they should reduce the price. So I see them discuss. I try to tell them that it's not possible. No businessman will put a plane on a traffic route that is not busy. You understand? So each time the plane flies, it makes 2,000 cedis. And it's probably costing 5,000 cedis. So it's when the politicians are coming to town, they use it to come. It's like a security zone.
Wow.
Airport that should be.
Open to
Public place.
No.
You understand? So instead of us to find a way to make the place busy and create activity, they are complaining that the politicians should reduce the price. Politicians cannot reduce price. If you see people reduce price, anytime there's a price reduction, the government has subsidized it. Instead of the government empowering people to be capable of doing things, they subsidize their cost. So the people are even living there. Things cost any longer. They're like, oh, it's too expensive. No, you are too broke. But how am I going to be able to tell this to people if I'm trying to sell real estate to you that it's you who is poor, it's not the house that is too expensive? They will say you are insensitive.
Yeah, but
It was less, very, very low. Like, it was already subsidized. And they were still complaining. Like, I just don't get, like, the logic was missing in their argument. It was just, so I think anytime you are trying, so I think it's a thing about high ticket sales. Accommodation is a high ticket, especially high accommodation. I went to an apartment I was trying to sell. It was so expensive. They went to me that I was trying to sell. They showed me the kitchen. It was like, okay, it makes sense. The kitchen had Bosch. You know Bosch?
I know about you.
You have Bosch washing machines and Bosch kitchen appliance, Bosch everything.
Very expensive.
You understand? And Bosch is like 2 times the cost of a Samsung. In the average real estate developer might have even put like a Hisense or something, which is half the cost of Samsung. So if these people are charging you 2 times more, they are even doing you a favor. Like they are being nice, they have shrunk their profit margin. And the reason why you start thinking hardware, because the hardware of Bosch is going to live longer than you, vice versa. You know what that has to us? I have a rich case in this one. I realized that buy is very quality watches, quality dresses. So he had bought them for so much time that for like 5 years he didn't have to buy watches and dresses. So I started doing that. Sorry, my mom said, so if you are wearing a thing like that, it doesn't get support. Don't you get tired of it? Do you understand? So instead of buying a 100 cedi shirt that I can wear for 5 years, I buy a 50 cedi shirt that I have to buy a new one every year. So in 5 years, the cost of my wardrobe is 250. Me that I'm poor. The cost of the rich man's wardrobe is 100 cedis. You get it? Because then when Maya wears white shirt all the time. He has something on them. They have a green shirt too, yellow shirt too, brown shirt, black shirt too. So I have 20. I understand. So the cost of my wardrobe is 2 times more than what the Maya's wardrobe. You understand? So who is poor? I am living a more, let's say, lousy life. Like, I spend more on my livelihood than he spends. Plus, he makes more money than me. So in the next 5 years, I become poorer and he becomes richer. And I'll even go ahead to say, oh, he's rich by his better, he's always wearing white shirts. That's the problem of Africa. So, like, you come to my town, people are driving like a car like mine. Someone drives a Corona. Next year he buys another car. Next 2 years he buys. He's changing his car. A very rich man. One who just came out from Malaysia. He's been driving the same V8 for 9 years. Then we say he's an idiot. Why is he driving the same car for 9 years? If it is me and I have that money, I'm not buying it. He's not an idiot. His cost of transportation has been $100,000 for 9 years. Then the poor man buys Corolla. $25,000. And next year, he thinks, oh, when he argued with that, but he sold it for some money. He sells it for $5,000. Nice development. He sells it for $5,000. So the salvage cost is $5,000. Then, so he has lost $15,000. And he buys another car $25,000. So he thinks he's upgrading his status. So the cost of upgrading his status is $20,000 every year. Maybe the salvage cost is $5,000. So every year he spends $20,000 more. Right? So in 9 years, he would have spent $180,000. The rich man has spent how much? $100,000. So in the 4 months attempt to scale up to meet up with the rich man, he has lost $80,000.
That's crazy. Someone said that if you take all the money from the rich people and you give it to the poor people, that after some years, this money will be back to the rich
after
people.
10 years, 90% of the rich will be rich again. And 90% of the poor will be poor again. So which one of them will not become rich again? There's a lesson in that story.
Which of them will not
If you share all the money in the world among us, 90% of the rich will be rich again in 10 years. And 90% of the poor will be poor again. But 10% of the poor will not be poor again.
Okay.
And then 10% of the rich will not be rich again.
I would say the 10% that were poor and will not be poor again. These I guess, I'd say their mindset has already changed and they have the rich mindset.
So they had the mindset, but they didn't have the opportunities. They were handicapped in a way. Sometimes because they were born somewhere in the village, not too much opportunities. Sometimes they have had a crisis, they couldn't survive. Sometimes you studied how families become educated? Education camps. First set of people who get educated,
Yeah.
they go into academia and they become nurses and teachers and those things. Their children become professionals, engineers, accountants, lawyers, and those things. Then the lawyers and engineers become businessmen, entrepreneurs. The business and entrepreneurs' children and this system. So after the fourth generation, there's likelihood that 90% of them go back to start up. Usually it's like if people are very conscious of it and they have forged a lot of social security for the family. It doesn't happen. The likelihood is that some of them will be forged, some of them will have them. But there's always an idiot in the There's always a and some people skip this process. Which people skip this process? The people who learn. Not the people who go to school. Remember I spoke about education. The people who have read and not realized that, okay, it's not being a nurse, it's not a teacher that is great. It's about having an income reliable. Now they've gotten an income. Say it's not about getting an income. It's about automating the income. That's like professional. I think I've even jumped on. Like usually you would have been paid salary for turning up and working from morning to evening. That's the first stage of financial education. The next stage is to make more per hour. Because you all go to work at 8 and close at 5. Then the manager gets paid more than me. Why are they paying the manager more? That's the question you should always ask. Because there is a perceived value of the manager that they think he is bringing more to the table than you. Why? They think he's bringing more to the table. Because he can make all of you to do your works. So for me, I have to learn how to make all of other people to do. So the manager is the tool of the organization, automation for the employer. So